Here's how we sold out our NFT collection in less than a week. The way I see it, there are 4 aspects that every good NFT project should do well. Vision, art, technology, and community. I'm going to start with vision. NFTs should have some kind of meaning or use case for people. We wanted to create something that had a lot of meaning to Korean people and people abroad who love Korea. So we decided on the theme of the Seoul Metro. In Seoul, you always meet your friends at a certain exit of the subway. When you went on dates with your first love, you would often meet them at the subway station. Your old job was next to a certain subway station. So these subway stations in Seoul are more than just a way to get around. They have a lot of meaning to people. So this was the vision. But along with this, we wanted to create a good system of rewards and incentives for people to not only buy our NFT, but to hold them too. And that's where the roadmap comes in. But I will talk about the roadmap a little bit later. First, I want to start with the art. And for that, I'm going to interview the artist.
My name is Seyoung Han.
This is your 3rd NFT project, is that correct?
It is correct. This is my 3rd one after first one Kimbap, second one Hangul, and 3rd one this Seoul Metro NFT.
No matter how well you do the marketing, the coding, the website, the art has to be good. It has to connect with people. Mm-hmm. What were your techniques and your strategy when creating this that made people really feel good, like this connects with them? What were your techniques for that?
I followed the a real photo of the station, of course, and also a little detail that people can think about. The colors of the drawings. I follow all the colors based on the line colors. So when people see it, their unconscious mind, they will get it. This is from Seoul Metro. They will feel Seoul Metro from the color. I put some detail on the color and also following the line art based on real photo. So when people see the photo, they recognize the landmark right away when if that person never been to Seoul.
What was the hardest one to draw for you?
Oh, yeah, that was Angukyeok, which is actually Gyeongbokgung is there. And while drawing it, I was so amazed by how much our ancestors smart and very did a sophisticated job in the palace, because it is very small. There are so many very small details, a lot of colors. I have to draw a lot of lines and I have to put a lot of colors. The palette that I can use is limited because I'm using the subway colors, so I have to test this color on this small part and it doesn't look good, then I have to change it. So I have to iterate a few times to make it look like a Gyeongbokgung feeling for that drawing.
How long did that one take?
Oh, I usually spend a day for a drawing to coloring for one special station, but that one a day and a half, I guess. Too good for that. Yeah.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Now we're going to look at the programming and technology aspect of NFTs. For that, I'm going to talk to Ryan. So the next component of making a good NFT is the coding, the back end, the technology. Why is this something that you can't ignore when you're designing a good NFT project?
In technology, there's a big saying that ideas are useless, execution is everything. Ideas are cheap, execution is everything. Ideas are easy, execution is tough. And I think in NFTs that is also true. So when you have your art, when you have the story, when you have the community of people who hopefully want to engage, they want to buy, they want to be part of it somehow, the next step is figuring out a way to distribute that content to them, the assets, the story, whatever. And so for some of this, it's already been figured out. We have things like Discord and Slack and Facebook groups that you can make to share ideas and have conversations with people. We also have platforms like OpenSea where you can buy and resell to one another. But what's missing right now is a way to easily do that first sale, the first mint. And currently, in order to do that, you have to basically write your own code, which means you need a smart contract and you need some kind of minting interface. Without those two components, you can have a great community, you can have great art, and you can even have a collection set up on something like OpenSea where people can resell. But you won't be able to do that initial distribution without a little bit of code. And so where I came into the Seoul Metro NFT and Kimbap and Hangul and some of the other collections we're currently working on is I was able to connect the dots between the art and the art being in a customer's hands.
Basically what you just explained, the coding, the back end, the technology. What if you outsourced that to someone who didn't do a very good job? How would that affect your project?
If you outsource the technology for an NFT to someone who doesn't know what they're doing, a lot of bad things can happen. First of all, and all of these things actually have happened to other NFT projects. You could build an NFT that sells really well, but all of the money is trapped inside of the NFT contract. This will happen if the developer doesn't remember to build a withdraw feature. So remember, all of this we're building from scratch. There's no magic button to withdraw and get paid from a smart contract. You have to build that. And there are NFT projects out there that have acquired a lot of Ethereum for selling their assets, and there's no way to get it out of the contract.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
This stuff's horrible.
Oh my God.
Another problem that can happen with bad technology on the smart contract is that people might be able to mint your assets for a lot lower than you planned. This can happen with very simple bugs in the contract, such as even one missing decimal place in the price. Because in smart contracts, you don't necessarily write the price as 1 ETH or 0.01 Ethereum. You actually write it in Wei or Gui, which is a unit with 18 decimal places, or in some cases 20 decimal places. And if you miss a 0 or 2 zeros, people will be able to mint your asset for 1/10 or 1/100th of your intended price.
Thank you so much, Ryan. You excited for the launch?
I'm thrilled for the launch. We actually have a bunch of friends coming over to celebrate. We're going to be furiously helping people answer their questions on our community and having a great time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Fighting.
And lastly, community. That was my job. My goal was to create an environment where people could talk, ask questions, a place where we could share updates and information about the project. And for that, I chose Discord. I find that Discord is not only for gamers, but these days it's used a lot for creating communities around technology, especially cryptocurrency and NFTs. So now that I had the goal to create a really good Discord community, I thought, well, on my main YouTube channel, which has 320,000 subscribers, I could just create a post and tell them all to join my Discord community. This was bound to work, right? Wrong. So I made a post on my YouTube channel and we got about 50 or 60 people in the Discord community, but that number was a lot less than I wanted. And this is the interesting thing about YouTube and audiences. Just because you have an audience in one area doesn't mean that that audience is interested in following you for other topics as well. The audience for my main channel is interested in language learning and cultural differences between Korea and the West. As you can see, NFTs and crypto aren't really the best fit for that. So in order to spread the word and get our Discord going more, I started messaging crypto and NFT influencers here in Korea. The first 3 influencers that I messaged were Altcoin LTD, NFT On, and Chain의 정석. All 3 of these creators loved our project and loved the art style, so I offered to give them a few NFTs in exchange for them advertising to their audience about our project. Now, with 3 YouTubers who have audiences relevant to our project, people started to really come into the Discord. Along with this, we had both a giveaway event and a pre-order event to create hype and get people more excited about our project. All of this, of course, was announced in the Discord. So now that we had a good number of people in the Discord asking questions, getting excited about our project, we as a team were getting ready for the official launch. We're live now. How do you feel? We just launched the minting. Woo!
Whoa! Feel great. Within the first 30 seconds, we sold about 35 assets, 35 Metro tokens.
Oh my gosh.
And if I refresh, we just sold another one, so
Yay.
let's see.
It's going really well, guys.
Going
oh my
well.
gosh. We got some friends. We're gonna eat some pizza, have some beers, celebrate our hard work. It's been hard, but worth it.
Going to the moon!
날까지!
알까지!
We still had to create a roadmap, which I mentioned before, to keep people excited after they bought our NFTs and to incentivize them to hold it. So we created this roadmap and list of achievements. 1. Take a picture of yourself at the stations you owned and post on Instagram or Twitter tagging Seoul Metro NFT on Instagram and on Twitter tagging Sean P Official. For every time you do this, you get a free Seoul Metro NFT sticker. 2. If you own 3 or more regular stations and you hold them for 30 days, you get a Seoul Metro NFT sticker and a bag with our official logo. We might change this around depending on how popular it is. Next, if you hold a rare station for 90 days, we will send you an official Seoul Metro NFT shirt with your rare station printed on it, or a poster with your rare station printed on it. You only need to pay a small fee for shipping and materials. And last, this is what I'm most excited about. We're planning a Seoul Metro NFT exhibition in the White Studio in Hongdae. So all Seoul Metro NFT holders will get tickets to the exhibition airdropped into their MetaMask wallet. So we're going to announce this date soon, but we have a lot of really cool ideas in store. As you can see, the roadmap is the final part of the vision. It's what keeps your project alive after all the initial sales are done. We still want people to talk about our project and we want to maintain this amazing community we've created. Because we're such a new project, I will have to give you updates in the future as to how well our roadmap is working and how satisfied and happy the holders of our NFTs are. Overall, some things that worked really well in my favor as the person in charge of community is being bilingual. Because I speak both Korean and English, it was really convenient to message Korean creators and to help people out in the Discord in both Korean and English. Also, of course, my main YouTube channel with 320,000 subscribers gave me a ton of credibility. To have a popular person endorsing a project is super helpful. But even if you aren't a big YouTuber like me, you can still message smaller creators. And the creators that believe in your project, your vision, and like your art style are going to support you. Of course, there's some things that we all learn from this that we're going to do differently next time. The first thing is our choice of coin. We decided to do this on the Polygon blockchain, but the problem is that it's very hard to get Polygon on the Polygon blockchain in Korea. Most exchanges sell only Ethereum. You have to buy the Ethereum, bridge it over to Polygon, switch the Ethereum on Polygon to Polygon on Polygon. As you can see, it's really confusing. In the future though, there are really good alternatives like Clay or Solana. And I'll definitely consider these coins when I do another project in the future. Another thing is Twitter. Twitter is so powerful, and I feel like as the person who is in charge of community, I should have utilized it more because people really talk a lot about cryptocurrency and NFTs through Twitter. But I don't want to be too hard on myself or the team because we learned a lot of these valuable lessons by the experience of doing this project. Anyway, I could talk about this project for days and days, but I hope that this video was valuable to all of you who are curious about our process or perhaps planning your own NFT projects in the future. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. This was Sean from Crypto Society, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.